Hey everyone, this is Mr. Isometric and welcome back to part 6 of our mobile game tutorial series. In this series we are making obviously a mobile game, and this game is about a car which is Endless Runner. So in this video we are going to make the UI a very simple UI for the game, so that it's like a base for every UI. Later you can change the things such as the custom UIs. You can make your custom spirits and just add them into the image socket. Okay, so I will be just showing you how to do it briefly inside the Unity with the help of visual scripting. So let's get started. So to make the UI we need a canvas. So what we will do is go to our hierarchy, right click, UI and canvas. So everything will be on this canvas. So for better editing of the canvas we can go into the 2D mode if you want. And the first thing I will do is change this UI scale mode inside the UI scaler from constant pixel size to scale with screen width. And once you do that, I will just show you what happened. Let's right click on our canvas and then we will add in a button. So once we add a button, let's just place this button on the top right of our game. Over here it looks good. Also one thing to notice is that I changed my display resolution to 18 by 9 landscape, because my game is played on a landscape and not a portrait. So yep, that's one of the settings. So as you can see, once I set my canvas to scale with screen width, if I just scale my canvas anyway I want, the UI moves with it, that button moves with it, as you can see. But assume that I haven't done that. So let us see what happens when it is on constant pixel size. So if I just change the resolution of my screen, my button stays where it is. It's in the world position, I think. So yeah, just do that. I'll just undo my changes. Okay, so my canvas is on now, scale with screen width. Okay, so let's select our button and then let's rename it to something like main menu. Every button has a text option over here, so you can change whatever you are watching on this text. So let's make it main menu. And now there is a thing, this text looks blurry. So we can do is we can import our own text font, or you can just change the one which is already present inside the Unity, which is Arial, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes this. Okay, if you click over here inside the assets, I think it's available somewhere over here. I can't find a reference to that. It's inside the asset somewhere. So no, it's not in here. There should be a, okay, I think it's not there, so let's not waste our time over there. I'll just show you what I did. I just went on my, as I'm using Windows, so let's go into our C drive where the Windows is installed, and let's go into the Windows. So there will be a fonts folder over here. You can just directly drag and drop your font over there. So let me just choose a font for my game. I think something like, I'll just fast forward this. This font looks good. So wait, for the tidying things up, I think I should make a fonts folder. So let's create a folder and let's rename it font. So now I'll just drag and drop the font I want. There it is. And once you do that, you can again go onto your button text and now you can select your font. I think I'll just plug this one. Still the text is blurred, but my font has been changed. I will increase its size. Okay, that looks good. And now let us select our font and change from the font we have imported. Let's select that and change this font size to something like 50, and then rendering mode, let us keep it smooth and change the character from dynamic to Unicode, and let's apply. And as you can see, once we do that, our font is clear and sharp. You can also go into your text. You can choose any font you want according to your game. I'm just giving the brief introduction on how to do that, so you can change anything later. Okay, so I will just go and decrease its size somewhat, 20. Okay, like 20 looks good. You can also change this wrap to overflow and turn it to overflow. This does nothing if suppose that your text is going out of this bounding box over here, as you can see in the scene view, so that text will go out and not will just clip. Okay, you can do that. And now what I will do is I will just select this main menu and control D. Now let's drag and drop it down, and as you can see in the game view, there is another button created. So I want this button to be called as restart, and let's change it text. Open that button and go inside its text option. Go inside its text option, and then you can just change its text with restart. Don't press enter. Okay, great. Now what we have to do is we also need something to show our score. So as this is an endless runner game, you can either choose time or distance for the score. So what I will do is, let's just select the canvas, right click, and then add a UI element which is text. Let's drag and drop it up. So now as you can see, my text is on the corner, so I don't want that. First I will change its font, change its font to some that one which we selected, reduce the font size, and as you can see, if my font goes beyond a limit, it clips. So let me just align it at the center. So to prevent it from clipping, you can adjust, as I said, you can change it to overflow, both of them. And now if I just increase the font size, as you can see, the border is over here and it's clipping out. It's not clipping, it's overflowing. So yep, that's what it is. Just for now, let's keep it for triple zeros. Let's select our text. It is pretty much at the center. I'll just move it up to the side, and then let's go into our canvas. And as you can see, there is something known as screen match mode. So with match width and height selected, I will just increase its height, and then let's relocate the both of them. I forgot to do it earlier, sorry. Okay, somewhat like that over there, and let's select our score and move it up a little bit till over there. And now what we will do is we will actually increase our button size because they are pretty small. So I think 1.5 would be great. You just have to change the X and Y value. Z value doesn't matter because it's actually doesn't have any depth, Z depth. These buttons don't have that. So on the restart selected, I will just change its scale to 1.5 and then 1.5. Okay, you have to select this button to change the scale. I will drag them down a little bit, and then I will also select both buttons and move them on the right. I used control to select multiple objects in my hierarchy. So once that's done, so what we will do is we will now add a flow macro for our canvas so that our scene gets reloaded when I whenever we fail and we click restart, so my scene should be reloaded. And then if we click the main menu, I want it to be load another scene and disable this scene. Okay, so to do that I think I need a new scene, but let's just focus for this restart. And also there is one thing I forgot to mention, you can change this text over here with the help of visual script as well, so that we will be able to watch our score. So yep, let's get started with that. What we will do is we will go into our canvas, let's add a component, go into the bolt and add a flow macro. Let's create a new flow macro, and inside our macros folder we will call it something like buttons, or you can call them UI. Let's call it UI. We don't need both of them, so let's remove them. And now for using our restart button, we will start with our restart button. As we don't have a new scene, we will create a new scene soon. So first, when we click our restart button, I just want my this current scene to be reloaded again. So let's right click and then let's click on button, search button, go inside the button, and then you have to select get on click. No, not this one. I think it's outside. On button click. Okay, you need this. On button click, you can directly search that now. So you also need a reference to that button. As we know, this is on the canvas and not on this restart button, so you need to create a reference. So for that you need to find that. I will just find a game object. Let's directly type in game object. Okay, so this third one over here, game object, find with the help of name, and the name of our button is restart. Make sure you don't make any spelling mistakes. Uppercase and lowercase matters as well. So whenever my on button click over the restart button over here, as you can see, find game object. So whenever my restart button will be clicked, this event will get triggered, and once that event gets triggered, I want my scene to be reload. So we will type scene. So let's go inside the scene manager, and then you have to click on load scene, build index. So let's select that, and now the question is what is a build index. So for build index, we need to go in our file, build setting, and then inside the build setting, here is the scene in builds. So if your game has multiple scenes, you can add them over here sequentially. Okay, so add open scene. So currently the only scene I have in my game is this scene game object. So if you go inside your scene, there is only one scene, and which is this currently, which is open. That is a game scene. So that game scene has a build index 0, as you can see over here. So I'll just cut it, and now this load scene manager load scene will just load the scene which has build index 0. It is quite handful. Instead, you can also do that with the help of load the scene with the help of name, but I think build index will work really good. So I think let's just test our script now. Let's make our game window a little bit bigger, and I will hit play. So it doesn't matter if you lose or win. Once I touch my truck, my game stops, indicating that I lost, and then I can just click on the restart button, and as you can see, my script got loaded. And even if I'm not lost, if I click on the restart button, my game will restart. Okay, that's great. And now all we have to do is we will add main menu later. We will first add our scoring option. So for that, I think I will go with the distance for our game. So maximum number of distance covered. So I think to change that, we need a reference to our text. So we will find a game object, I just duplicated this game find game object stuff. Okay, and now we will find a text. Okay, so once we found that text, and now I think there is a little bit of confusion, such as there are actually a lot of text over here, so I think that can create a problem. So let's rename this to score. Let's control D to duplicate, and then let's rename this to score. And now what we will do is we want to change the text, so let's just right click, add unit, and let's search for text and just go into the text. Here you can set the text anything you want, so you need to find the set text. As you can see, you can set so many of things. So here it is, set text, and it takes a string value over there. So we will add this into the update method. So this text is giving us error now, ignore that. This text want a string value, and that string value will be, so let us check for our car's z location is at 4.9. so I think we can pretty much start with that as well, because no one's gonna know for sure what's the position is. But I think what we should do is we should add empty game object. As you can see, my car is not at the 0, but it's actually at 4.9, so I can't actually do the rounding off directly. I mean, it will be too much of math if you can do it, but let's do it in a simple way. With my car selected, I think I will go directly into my prefab mode, and in the scene view, let's get out of the 2D mode. Let's double click our car, and then I think I will add a empty game object. This will be for car score. I think I will create this car score, and it is currently at 0,0,0. so let's get out of the prefab mode, and if we check on our car score, its z value is 0 for some reason. Okay, so its z value is 0. If I move it back, okay, so let's just keep it at 0. So now I just rounded off my car z value to 0, and I think this is pretty much all we need. So what we will do is again go into our canvas, and then we will get the z value of our car score game object. So let's control D to duplicate, and let's find this game object, which is car score. And now we want its transform, or I can say position. So we will get its position, and then specifically with that position we want its z value, because our game is moving in the z direction. So I will just take a z value, vector 3. Let's scroll down and get z, and now as you can see, the values which is taken by this text object is string, and our this z value is actually a float value. So there is something built-in function in the Unity which converts float values to the string value. So I think I need to find that. So I think inside the string we can concatenate. No, we don't need that. Okay, so here it is. So it is float to string. We can use this, And there is also one thing, this float value is going to be much larger, so I don't think we will use this node, but we will use something like, okay, so this is float parse s, which is this parse represents the conversion in the JavaScript. I think it is conversion, so a bitwise simulation, no, I don't think we need that. So we need something to convert float to string, provide, okay, float to string format. I think this is the one we need. So here you can specify the format such as 0, 0.0, or just type in 0, 0, 0. Let's just plug that in, plug that over, plug this value over, sorry, over here. And also this error which we are watching right now says that target is missing text component. We also need to refer to our text component over here, which is core, so we will just plug that over there. Okay, so that looks good. And now let's hit play and see what our game looks like. So as you can see, we got our triple zeros over there and our car stopped. Let's restart again. Okay, let's get out of the play mode and let's add double zeros over here, and let's hit play again. Okay, so as you can see, even if there were double zeros over there, it still went to triple digit, so it will go on. And if you're thinking what this format does is, just let us say that if I plug 0.0 over here, as you can see, I'm getting a point value. So this format is actually for specifying the format you need. Let's just get out of the play mode and let's plug 0 over here. So now we are good with our score. Player can watch its score n number of times. We can also save that score and show them this is your score for the final time, and for that you should actually use this saved score value. Okay, so saved over here, make a variable for the score and just store it from over here. Okay, so I am going to do that. So now let us move on and let's make our main screen. Let's make another scene, Control S to save it. So now let us create a new scene. You can always just create Control D to duplicate the current scene. I think okay, here it is. Create a new scene, and this scene will be our main menu. Double click to open the main menu, and as you can see, this scene is literally empty. So what we have to do is we need to add a canvas again, UI canvas, and let's name it main menu. Let's keep it okay, great. Let's just go into our 2D view, make game view a little bit smaller. So now it's this UI is fitting in our screen. So what we will do is let's select our canvas over here, which is which we just renamed main menu, change it to scale with screen width size, and then also don't forget to make it 1, this height 1. What we will do next is, I think, okay, so we are done. So by selecting the canvas, let's right click and go into a UI, and then we will add in a panel. So this panel will be transparent or anything you want. You can change the color of this panel over here. So currently this panel is transparent, so I'll make it less transparent with this 255 value of this alpha channel. Okay, and now you can source image. Okay, so source image is, let's make it none. We don't want any image in that panel. Okay, I think that's it for the panel settings. You can always change its color as well. I'll keep it white for now. I can change it anytime. So yep, now let's go to our canvas and then UI, and then let's add in a button. So this button will be for the starting of the game. Let's scale this button to something like 2. Let me make my graph editor a little bit smaller so you can see. So this button will be my start button. Let's rename this to start. Let's change the text to start as well. Great, now let's change the font to this, and let's rename our these two settings. Overflow, set those to overflow, and now as this is centered, I will just change the scale. Alignment is at the center. Did I press the, yep, I think I pressed the enter. Okay, do not press the enter when you're done with the text. Okay, so I think after doing that we are good to go. Let's increase that. So now as my start button is ready, I'll just Ctrl D to duplicate. Let us select this gizmo over here. Let's move it down. We will create this as an exit. Select that, rename exit, and let's change it text to exit as well. So as our 2 UI is this 2 starting UI is ready, this is our introduction screen, so you can play with the screen as much as you want. So I'll just place my start and exit button over there, and also I think I want a text object, so I'll just go into UI and text. Let's add in a text, but before that let's change its font, and then I will also do this overflow, and let's align it at the center. I will increase its scale much bigger, something like this. And now you can plug your game name over here. So the game, the name of this game will be Car Runner. Because why not? There is also one setting, it's like a bonus setting. It has nothing to do with the it has to do something with UI. Let's add a component, and then you can add a shadows to it. So with this shadow component you can add shadow. So with this effect, you can add shadow to your text object. Let me just -1 and then -1. Okay, so as canvas was red, you were not able to see that, but as you can see the shadow is moving. So like -5, and then this will be -5 as well. So it gives it a pretty interesting look. You can also do that with the buttons. I can just I think copy component and then plug that into the paste component values. Okay, great. And now I can do the same with add component shadows, and then click on these three dots and then paste component values. So our UI got a pretty interesting look. So it got some shadows. So now we have to create something like this start button and exit button. We have to do the same things as we did before. So with this main menu selected, let us give it a flow macro, like a bolt flow machine, and then this I think we can use the same script as before. So let us select the UI script over here. We can use the same script in the both the scenes. I need a build index number. Let's go into our build setting again, add scene. So as you can see, my main menu is with the build index 1 and my game is with the build index 0. You can always drag and drop them up and down as you wish. So now currently my main menu is with build index 0 and game is with build index 1. So I'll just keep that in my mind. And also there is one thing to mention is that inside the build setting, whenever this application will be opened for the first time, the scene with the build index 0 will be turned on. So I think it is kind of mandatory to make your main screen on the top and then rest of the screens at the bottom. Okay. Hey everyone, sorry for the weird cut, and as you can see on the screen, don't I actually tried to make this UI use same script as before. So inside my main menu I actually created a flow machine and I reused my last UI script from the other scene, which was game scene. So I forgot to think about that. After looking at this error, I realized that this car score game object is actually not inside this screen, so I actually can't get its transform. And as this transform is under the update method, this update method is actually asking for the transform, but as this game object is not there, how can it get its transform? So don't reuse the scene. Instead you can just remove this and let's just create a new flow macro, and inside the macros folder let's call it main screen UI. Okay, let's save it. We don't need this both, so let's clear this. And now I will do the same thing which I did before. So what we will do, okay, I think first of all I will go into my projects. Let's save this scene, Control S. Okay, let's get out of the play mode as first. Let's control it to save this scene, and then inside this scene, inside the canvas, I will just delete some of the stuff which should not be here. So in this canvas there is a main menu button and restart button, so leaving them, restart and main menu, I will just delete everything. So this start button as well, I will delete it, and this exit button, let's delete that as well. Okay, so we are good to go. So now let us save this scene. Always save your scene before going back to the game, before changing the scenes. So let's just double click on the main menu, and then inside the main menu canvas, I think this UI, nah, we don't need that. I think we made main menu script already. Okay, so main menu UI over here it is. So let's just right click and then find game object. Okay, don't do that, just do the game object. This fuzzy finder is little bit weird, so game object, find name, and then inside the main menu we actually want the start, and then this start, and then there is a exit one, Control D to duplicate it. Okay, great. So now what we will do is this start, we want button, and then we will select on button click, we want that for the start and also for the exit. So for the start, I think I just want to change the scene. So after searching the scene, let's go into the scene manager, and then we will load scene, build index. So our main menu is 0. When we click start, I want my game to be on, and game is on the build index 1. I think I showed this earlier in the build settings. Here it is, the game scene is on the 1. And for the closing the application, we will just type in app and then go inside the application. Over here we just need to find the quit or exit one. Okay, so here it is, quit. So application quit, just plug that right into there, and let's say save our scene. Let's click on play. Let's go inside the console, ignore this error. Okay, now let's just click on the exit button, and as you can see, when I click my exit button, this quit application gets triggered. Let's click on start, and my game is running. Let's click on main menu, and no errors. Okay, so yep, that's it. And I think this is pretty much enough for the UI. You can also animate the UI, but I think uh, this procedure is kind of same, so I'll just give the link in the description for the brackets tutorial for animating your UI or like making the UI stuff. Okay, so I think most of you will be familiar with the brackets tutorials. I too personally learned from that, and this visual scripting just got into me. It's fairly easy. So yep, I think that's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. This is the stuff I think I wanted to talk about, the UIs, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share my videos if you are understanding the tutorial. The main purpose of these tutorials are not on how to make a game, but actually on how to use the visual scripting. It is a really powerful tool. So yep, bye bye.